Chapter 1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel who came into Egypt with Jacob, every man and his household: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, together with Joseph, who was already in Egypt. And Joseph died, and all his brothers, and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful, and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and grew exceedingly mighty, and the land was filled with them. Now there rose up a new king over Egypt, who knew not Joseph. And he said to his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more numerous and mightier than we. Come, let us deal shrewdly with them, in case they multiply, and it come to pass that when there happens to be a war, they also join our enemies and fight against us, and depart out of the land. And they set over taskmasters to afflict them with their burdensome labors. And they built treasure cities for Pharaoh, Pithom, and Ramesses. But in the measure that they afflicted them, so they multiplied, and so they spread out. And they felt abhorrence because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to labor with rigor, and they made their lives bitter with hard labor in mortar and in bricks and in all manner of labor in the field, in all their service, wherein they made them labor with rigor. And the king of Egypt said to the Hebrew midwives, of whom the name of one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah, and he said, When you do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, you shall look upon the birth. If it be a son, then you shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then may she live. But the midwives feared God, and they did not as the king of Egypt had commanded them, but saved the men children alive. And the king of Egypt called for the midwives, and he said to them, Why have you done this thing, and have saved the men children alive? And the midwives said to Pharaoh, Because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively. Before the midwife comes into them, they are delivered. And God dwelt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied, and they grew very mighty. And it came to pass, because the midwives feared God, that he made them houses. And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, Every son that is born you shall cast into the river, and every daughter you shall save alive. Chapter 2. And there went a man of the house of Levi, and took a daughter of Levi, and the woman conceived and bore a son. And when she saw that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months. And when she could no longer hide him, she took him, a box of bulrushes, and daubed it with slime and with pitch. And she put the child in it, and laid it amidst the flags by the brink of the river. And his sister placed herself afar off, to ascertain what would be done to him. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river, and her maidens walked along by the side of the river. And when she saw the box among the flags, she sent her maid and fetched it. And she opened it and saw the child, and behold, it was a weeping boy, and she had compassion on him, and said, This is one of the Hebrews' children. Then said the sister to Pharaoh's daughter, Shall I go and call you a nurse of the Hebrew women, that she may nurse for you the child? And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, Go. And the maiden went and called the mother of the child. And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, Take away this child and nurse him for me, and I will give you your wages. And the woman took the child and nursed him. And the child grew up, and she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became to her as a son. And she called his name Moses. And she said, Because out of the water have I drawn him. And it came to pass in those days, when Moses was grown up, that he went out to his brothers, and looked on their burdensome labors. And he saw an Egyptian man striking a Hebrew man, one of his brothers. And he looked this way and that way, and when he saw that there was no one by, he struck the Egyptian, and hid him in the sand. And when he went out the second day, behold, 2 Hebrew men were striving together. And he said to him that was in the wrong, Why do you strike your fellow? And he said, "Who made you a chief and judge over us? Do you intend to kill me as you have killed the Egyptian?" And Moses feared and said, "Surely the thing has become known." And Pharaoh heard this thing, and he sought to slay Moses. But Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and stayed in the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. And the shepherds came and drove them away. But Moses arose and helped them and watered their flock. And when they came to Reuel, their father, he said, "Why have you come home so soon today?" And they said, "An Egyptian man delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and he also drew water for us and watered the flock." And he said to his daughters, "And where is he? Why have you left the man? Call him, that he may eat bread." And Moses was content to live with the man, and he gave Zipporah, his daughter, to Moses. And she bore a son, and he called his name Gershom, for he said, "I have been a stranger in a foreign land." And it came to pass in this long time that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed by reason of bondage, and they cried, and their complaint came up to God by reason of the bondage. And he heard their groaning, and God remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. And God looked upon the children of Israel, and God took cognizance of them. Chapter 3. And Moses was keeping the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock away into the desert and came into the mountain of God, to Horeb. And an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a thorn bush. And he looked, and behold, the thorn bush was burning with fire, but the thorn bush was not consumed. And Moses said, "I must turn aside and see this great sight, why the thorn bush is not burnt." And when the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, God called him out of the midst of the thorn bush and said, "Moses, Moses." And he said, "Here am I." And he said, "Draw not nigh here. Put off your shoes from off your feet, for the place on which you stand is holy ground." And he said, "I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob." And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look up to God. And the Lord said, "I have truly seen the affliction of my people that is in Egypt, and have heard its cry by reason of its taskmasters. Yes, I know its sorrows. And I have come down to deliver it out of the hand of the Egyptians and bring it up out of that land to a land good and large, to a land flowing with milk and honey, to the place of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel has come to me, and I have seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppress them. And now, then go, and I will send you to Pharaoh, and you shall bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt." And Moses said to God, "Who am I, that I should go to Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt?" And he said, "Because I will be with you. And this shall be to you the token that I have sent you. When you have brought forth the people out of Egypt, you shall serve God upon this mountain." And Moses said to God, "Behold, if I come to the children of Israel and say to them, 'The God of your fathers has sent me to you,' and they then say to me, 'What is his name?' What shall I say to them?" And God said to Moses, "I will be that I will be." And he said, "Thus will you say to the children of Israel, 'I will be has sent me to you.'" And God said moreover to Moses, "Thus will you say to the children of Israel, 'The everlasting one, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob, has sent me to you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial to all generations. Go and assemble the elders of Israel, and say to them, 'The everlasting one, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob, has appeared to me, saying, I have surely taken cognizance of you, and of that which is done to you in Egypt. And I have said, I will bring you up out of the affliction of Egypt to the land of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, to a land flowing with milk and honey. And they will listen to your voice, and you shall come, you and the elders of Israel, to the king of Egypt, and you shall say to him, the everlasting one, the God of the Hebrews, has met with us. And now let us go, we beseech you, a 3 days' journey into the wilderness, that we may sacrifice to the Lord our God. But I am sure that the king of Egypt will not let you go unless it happen through a mighty hand. And I will stretch out my hand and strike Egypt with all my wonders, which I will do in the midst thereof. And after that he will let you go. And I will give this people favor in the eyes of the Egyptians. And it shall come to pass that when you go, you shall not go empty, but every woman shall ask of her neighbor and of her that sojourns in her house vessels of silver and vessels of gold and garments, and you shall put them upon your sons and upon your daughters, and you shall empty out Egypt. Chapter 4. And Moses answered and said, But behold, they will not believe me, nor listen to my voice. For they will say, The Lord has not appeared to you. And the Lord said to him, What is that in your hand? And he said, A staff. And he said, Cast it on the ground. And he cast it on the ground, and it became a serpent. And Moses fled from before it. And the Lord said to Moses, Put forth your hand and grasp it by the tail. And he put forth his hand and laid hold of it, and it became a staff in his hand, in order that they may believe that there has appeared to you the everlasting one, the God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And the Lord said furthermore to him, Put your hand into your bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous, white as snow. And he said, Put your hand again into your bosom. And he put his hand again into his bosom. And when he pulled it out of his bosom, behold, it was turned again as his other flesh. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe you, neither listen to the voice of the first sign, that they will believe the voice of the latter sign. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe also these 2 signs, and will not listen to your voice, that you shall take of the water of the river, and pour it upon the dry land, and the water which you shall take out of the river shall become blood upon the dry land. And Moses said to the Lord, Pardon, O Lord, I am not a man of words, neither yesterday nor the day before, nor since you have spoken to your servant. For I am heavy of speech and heavy of tongue. And the Lord said to him, Who has given a mouth to man? Or who makes him dumb or deaf or seeing or blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now therefore go, and I will be with your mouth, and I will teach you what you shall speak. And he said, Pardon, O Lord. Send, I pray you, by the hand of him whom you would send. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses. And he said, Is there not Aaron, your brother, the Levite? I know that he can speak well. And also, behold, he comes forth to meet you. And when he sees you, he will be glad in his heart. And you shall speak to him, and put the words in his mouth. And I will be with your mouth, and with his mouth. And I will teach you what you shall do. And he shall speak for you to the people. And he shall be, yes, he shall be to you as a mouth, and you shall be to him as God. And this staff will you take in your hand, wherewith you shall do the signs. And Moses went and returned to Jethro his father-in-law, and said to him, Let me go, I pray you, and return to my brothers that are in Egypt, and see whether they be yet alive. And Jethro said to Moses, Go in peace. And the Lord said to Moses in Midian, Go, return to Egypt, for all the men are dead who sought your life. And Moses took his wife and his sons, and set them upon a donkey, and he returned to the land of Egypt. And Moses took the staff of God in his hand. And the Lord said to Moses, When you go to return into Egypt, regard well all the wonders which I have put in your hand, and do them before Pharaoh. But I will harden his heart, and he will not let the people go. And you shall say to Pharaoh, Thus has said the Lord, My son, my firstborn, is Israel. And I said to you, Let my son go, that he may serve me. And you refused to let him go. So behold, I will slay your son, your firstborn. And as he was on the journey in the inn, the Lord met him and sought to kill him. Then took Zipporah a sharp instrument and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at his feet and said, "Surely a bloody relative are you to me." And then he withdrew from him. And she said, "A bloody relative, but only in respect of the circumcision." And the Lord said to Aaron, "Go to meet Moses into the wilderness." And he went and met him by the mount of God and kissed him. And Moses told Aaron all the words of the Lord wherewith he had sent him, and all the signs which he had commanded him. And Moses and Aaron went and assembled all the elders of the children of Israel. And Aaron spoke all the words which the Lord had spoken to Moses, and he did the signs before the eyes of the people. And the people believed, and when they heard that the Lord had visited the children of Israel, and that he had looked upon their affliction, then they bowed their heads and worshipped. Chapter 5. And after that, Moses and Aaron went in and said to Pharaoh, "Thus has said the everlasting one, the God of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast to me in the wilderness." And Pharaoh said, "Who is the everlasting, whose voice I am to obey to let Israel go? I know not the everlasting, nor will I let Israel go." And they said, "The God of the Hebrews has met with us. Let us go, we pray you, a 3 days' journey into the desert, and sacrifice to the Lord our God, in case he fall upon us with the pestilence or with the sword." And the king of Egypt said to them, "Why do you, Moses and Aaron, hinder the people from their works? Get you to your own affairs." And Pharaoh said, "Behold, the people of the land now are many, and you disturb them in the pursuit of their labors." And Pharaoh commanded on the same day the taskmasters of the people and its officers, saying, "You shall no more give the people straw to make the bricks as yesterday and the day before. They themselves shall go and gather themselves straw. And the number of the bricks, which they did make heretofore, you shall impose upon them. You shall not diminish anything thereof, for they are idle. Therefore they cry, saying, Let us go and sacrifice to our God. Let the work be made to lie heavily upon the men, that they may have enough to do in it, and that they may not pay attention to false words." And the taskmasters of the people and its officers went out, and they said to the people, saying, "Thus says Pharaoh, I will not give you any straw. Go you, get yourself straw from wherever you can find it, yet not the least shall be taken from off your work." And the people scattered themselves abroad throughout all the land of Egypt to gather stubble instead of straw. And the taskmasters were urgent, saying, "Fulfill your works, every day its due portion, just as when there was straw." And the officers of the children of Israel, whom the taskmasters of Pharaoh had set over them, were beaten, as these said, "Why have you not fulfilled your task in making bricks as heretofore, both yesterday and today?" And the officers of the children of Israel came and cried to Pharaoh, saying, "Why do you deal thus with your servants? Straw is not given to your servants. And make bricks, say they to us. And behold, your servants are beaten, and your people are treated as sinners." But he said, "Idle are you, idle. Therefore say you, Let us go and sacrifice to the Lord. And now go work, and straw shall not be given you, yet the required number of bricks shall you deliver." And the officers of the children of Israel saw themselves in the evil necessity to say, "You shall not diminish anything from your bricks every day of its task." And they met Moses and Aaron, standing in their way as they came forth from Pharaoh. And they said to them, "May the Lord look upon you and judge, because you have made our savor to be abhorred in the eyes of Pharaoh, and the eyes of his servants, to put a sword in their hand to slay us." And Moses returned to the Lord and said, "Lord, why have you let so much evil come upon this people? Why is it that you have sent me? For since I came to Pharaoh to speak in your name, he has done more evil to this people. But you have in no wise delivered your people." Chapter 6. Then said the Lord to Moses, "Now will you see what I will do to Pharaoh. For with a strong hand shall he send them away, and with a strong hand shall he drive them out of his land. This completes Parashat Shemot.